Hi everyone, imagine you're working in the B2B sector and you're offering specialized services, for example, marketing services. In order to find prospects, you can do paid advertising, go to offline events, or try gathering leads online. But one of the ways to gather leads online is to find job posting on LinkedIn about, for example, in our case, open marketing position, which is a clear statement of problem that you can potentially solve with your services. Lead generation can be quite time-consuming and demanding process that everyone frankly saying hates doing. Instead, we can outsource this thing to AI, and I'm really pissed off such automation was not available at the time I was actively working in sales. In this video, we will explore how to scrape job postings in your field on LinkedIn, find hiring team if possible, or people that work in a specific department of that company, and if necessary, craft a personalized LinkedIn message to those leads. By watching until the end, you'll get actionable insights into setting up an AI-driven system that automates lead generation, allowing you to focus on closing deals. And by the way, the coolest part, the blueprint of this automation will be available down in the description below. Let's jump straight into it. All right, let's actually see what we are doing here. So first of all, you go to LinkedIn, and if you go to jobs, and for example, if we're gonna still pick our marketing field and we're working in a marketing, we're gonna have many companies pop up on that page. We've chosen the location to be the United States. So here you can go through different companies and seeing, okay, so if Mojo is searching for junior marketing associate and we are offering marketing services as a business, we can reach out to Mojo and say, hey, instead of hiring that person, you may hire us as an agency and we will provide that services for you. So that might be a cool way for you to actually attract potential clients and craft many leads right here. So in order to find out whom you need to reach out, so you can go and, as for example with New York City Alliance, there is this tag meet the hiring team. So essentially at some job posting you will have a specific person. So in that case, Connor Evans is there and you can directly reach out to Connor. However, in majority cases, and in the cases with Mojo, it's not a mandatory case anymore on LinkedIn. So people will not be attaching their kind of CV or their name to a specific job description. So we go to Mojo, for example, here we go to people, and here we're looking junior marketing executive, dog mom, strategic media professional, executive at Mojo, etc. So you may actually reach out to those people and you can message, and this is probably one way to finding leads for you, right? So if there is a hiring team and you need to reach out to HR, you can do that directly on the job page that we've seen before, or you can go through the company and the people and try to find the right aspects that you're looking for. Because, for example, you would often see that for the job description post on LinkedIn, there will be an HR person attached. But if you're looking to offer marketing services, you're not probably going to be talking to an HR person. You need to be talking to marketing executive, chief marketing officer, etc. So you might want to actually go a little bit deeper, one step further, and actually find if there is the right person that is actually hiring, because the HR is not essentially the one that makes decision here. That would make actually sense for you to do if you're looking for a specific person in the company. But I've just done this for one company, and you would need to research what the job description was about, what are your services, why you're a better fit, etc. This would take a lot of time that you probably don't want to be doing. So instead, I've created this automation that basically automates the whole thing. And let me explain in a nutshell how it works. By the way, I should have mentioned that the blueprint for this automation will be down in the description below. So first of all, by what query we are going to be searching. So if we're searching marketing candidates or HR candidates, etc., and this is depicted here, we need to specify the geolocation ID, so basically in which area we're looking. And in order to get the geolocation ID, you need to go to the job description, and here on the very top in the URL, you will actually find this number. It will go after geo ID is equal to this one. So this geolocation ID is equal to the United States. If I go a little bit more specific like Dallas, LA, or New York, I will have another geolocation ID, and I will also leave down in the description the link to the some of the key geolocation IDs that you may find here. Then we got 3 different keywords, and this is in case we don't find the hiring team. We'll be searching by these keywords basically within a company name, okay? And here we'll need to pass our cookies. And in order to pass cookies, you need to go to the LinkedIn, to the homepage. You will need to pre-install cookie editor, and I will also leave a link to the description where you can find it. And here you would just go press to the cookie and you'll find different cookies. You'll need to export in the JSON format. not, and when you press export JSON, you will paste them in here. So this will be your personal cookies, and this will be needed to search for different people that work in the company within your cookies. And by the way, for any actors that you're going to be using for LinkedIn, there are actually two types of actors that, when I say actors, those are like scrapers, information scrapers, that you can scrape the information from the person profile, from the jobs, from the post, and many other things. There are actually two types of scrapers like this. First of all, the one will be using your cookies, and the second not using your cookies. So if you're using a scraper that asks for your personal cookies, it will be done on behalf of your personal profile. So there is a certain risk. You don't need to be overusing this thing so that you do not cause, some warnings to the LinkedIn, IT department. So why you're making so many calls and etc. That's kind of one thing. But the other thing, which is more important, is you will be relying on your own network. So essentially, you will be shown contacts of people that you are actually attached to. So essentially, whenever you would be looking for different companies or people, those would be people that are within your third, like friends of the friends, basically. Those that you can see. You can see friends up to third connection. You can't see the fourth and fifth connection of your friends. And this is very important because it limits your research. However, you will actually be shown the contacts you're actually entitled to see. And the other actor is, which is not using your cookies, and it is even more important and more difficult, because if it doesn't use cookies, it only relies on the public information. And in many cases, the problem I have encountered is that you can't find specific people in the company, because probably in the settings they either haven't ticked or have unticked the tick that basically you will be visible to anyone without permission, so without connection, etc. So otherwise the fourth and fifth connection would usually be shown in your LinkedIn as like anonymous LinkedIn member or something like this. However, if you are a verified member or a public figure, etc., everybody can see. For example, if I go with Bill Gates, everybody can see Bill Gates, even though I'm not connected to him at any times. It is very important, because if you're not using cookies, you're also limiting your search very significantly. Let's move forward. So here we run an actor, and in order to run an actor, that will be our LinkedIn job scraper pay per result. So here, for example, you can go and rent an actor. Up to 1,000 results, you don't need to pay. And whenever you run an actor, essentially what you're getting back is you're getting a list of different job descriptions per different company. So here we can go with company name in the United States that's looking for, I think for marketing, that's what we were looking for. So here we've got Infuse, Payable, Kinetics, Snail Systems, JeffApp, and many other companies. Actually, what is interesting here, my geolocation number, I guess it is for Latvia. It's not for the United States. So let me check. 104. It's actually for Latvia, yeah. And that's why some of the companies that I've seen in this list here, those are companies based in Latvia, not in the United States in particular. But it doesn't really matter which location you basically choose. You would just need to change the geolocation ID. So what we're getting is, let's quickly recap. Company logo, company name, the slogan, description, tags, we've got the employment type, and many other things. You got the links as well. So you can use later those links to actually use in your system. So that's the first actor. It basically scrapes 100 different actors. What is important here, we need another tool which is called Sleep. Basically what it does, it sleeps for 60 seconds, and the reason it needs to do so, just because this actor will, although I have the run synchronously bar ticked here, it will still hurry to run to the next actor within this scenario, because by default it has certain time limit to, not to default, but to kind of interrupt the scenario, so to say. And that's why it will go to the next actor. But the problem is, it will go to the next actor before it has actually finished scraping 100 leads from this database. And we can actually check there. If we have 100 bundles here, it means we got all of them. Yes, we did. And this is because we have the tool Sleep here. If we didn't have here, we will be probably limiting ourselves. We'll be having like 64 or 73. Basically, the amount of leads it has, sort of job description it has scraped before it actually interrupted. Okay. And by the way, what we get here, we get a lot of the data that we've just seen in the Apify account. Here we get the benefits, description, tags, which we can read. So basically the description of the job, etc. So the next one is it will provide us if there is any data on the hiring team. So if the job that was published has a person attached to this job, and if we go there, we can see the data items empty, the data items empty, etc. It means actually none of these. Since I see here hiring team available, it will go this row. If it doesn't have a hiring team, it will go this row. Since we have 7 of the people that we have here, 7 operations went through this row, it means it didn't find a hiring team member to any of the job descriptions that we were analyzing here. And here I took just 7 for the sake of example, because basically here you will kind of scrape 100 companies, and for 100 companies you may have a few people here, so you will end up to, you know, hundreds of operations and hundreds of leads in your database, which is pretty nice, by the way, but something I don't need, because I don't offer marketing services and I don't want to be wasting all the operations and the API costs on an example and demo. What happens here, essentially what we are saying, if we have a hiring team, we're gonna go this row here. If we don't have a hiring team, doesn't exist, the full name, it will go this row. So if we have a hiring team, we have a specific person that we can basically write to that person. So here what we're going to do, we just summarize everything mentioned in the job description, so that later on that information can be used by another actor to actually craft a custom message. Right, so we've got instructions. So hey, you need to summarize this text, and here is the description text of the job description. So the next sector is another custom message for the LinkedIn invite. Let's actually take a look how that works. So here we got a little bit more instructions. We're saying you're generating LinkedIn short descriptions. There are different rules that it needs to follow. And this is needed because I want to make sure it doesn't sound over pitchy, over salesy. It has different customer data, the full name, the company name, etc., everything that it needs. And it also has the information about my company, because I want, like, in those 200 characters, which is not much, I want to sort of mention that I'm not looking to apply for this position, but this is like of a huge interest to discuss if there is like a cooperation opportunity for us in the future. So I want to make sure I provide this information to my agent here. So essentially what happens next, it adds this data into the database, and then the last one is basically sending personal invites, and we're using another actor, which is Sasway Network LinkedIn Batch Connections. And here for the URL, we'll be using that particular person's URL and the text that is provided by our GPT module. And we can actually take a look here. What are the texts? So basically this actor is the same as this actor, and this actor is the same as this actor. So if we're looking for different text, we can take a look how that works. So hi, noticed you opening product manager and admire your focus to customer lifecycle purposes. I'm also in this and would have the chance to connect, which is sort of okay. It's not perfect, I agree, but it's sort of okay for the initial connection, because in the initial connection, I don't want to sell. And by the way, here we also have like product managers. Although we were looking for marketing, there is like a product manager position open, which sometimes happen. You're searching marketing, and you know the system and the algorithm considers that product manager might be related to marketing that you're looking. So that's why we got it here. Okay, and basically it adds to the database, and let's actually take a look at this a little bit later. Let me show you what happens there. So here, if the full name does not exist, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna look for a particular company and the people that work in the company that are related to the tags that we have provided initially here. So basically we're looking people in marketing, advertising, and CMO tags in the company that was publishing the job description. We're using LinkedIn company employees people scraper, and if we go there to the runs, we can actually see how that works. It actually scrapes, for some it scrapes 0, for some it scrapes 5. So let's actually take a look. For example, 5 people, we've got the Jeff app, and we got the email marketing specialist, marketing expert, marketing specialist, email marketing and Jeff app, performance marketing specialist. All persons are related, and here we have 5 different people that we can reach out to with our outreach message. Right? So that's pretty cool. Here we get this data, and if we look, for example, for the company payable, we got the name Nancy Koskoshi, and you can have her URL. For the company, this company, we didn't get any, actually didn't find, but for the Jeff app that I was showing here, it provides just 3 persons. However, here it was 5. And again, the problem here is because we actually need another sleep module in between, like this one. Probably not for 60 seconds, but like for 30 seconds or something, because the problem probably was here because it started to scrape and then it reached the limit for the timeout, and it moved again to the next sector to get the dataset items. At the time, it wasn't finished. It hasn't finished the run yet. So another sleep module here will be actually needed, and let me actually add here, so another 30 seconds. will be actually needed here. So then we go there, and then what ChatGPT does here just summarizes what the company is saying. So the company seeks a product manager to oversee product development. Product manager is not actually what we're looking for, so let's actually look at this one. So Centro is another company. Holding seeks a self-motivated senior advertising manager, 2 years of experience, CPM, CPC, and then that stuff. Paid advertising probably. The role involves achieving sales targets, etc., etc. So kind of a short description. This is for us. So next time we actually know what we are talking about. Then it creates a custom message. We have already seen that. So hi, Artyom, for example, knows that Jeff's email marketing system position sounds exciting. I'm in the industry with the Flow by AI. Would love a chance to connect, which is sort of okay. You can probably do better job here at providing instructions, but for the sake of the example, I think that's good enough. And then it adds to our database. And if we look at the database, here what we have. So we've got the mirror search, the position that is open. Let's take our Jeff app, for example. We've got the email marketing assistant, a short summary, a person that is working at this company, and then there are 3 other people that it actually found, their job titles, their LinkedIn URLs, and the custom message. And by the way, you've got all the data, so you can do and send the messages yourself, or you can automate it with, the system on Make. Whatever you decide is up to you, but the cool part is that you can literally get as many leads as you want by just optimizing and using 3 different actors here. What is actually pretty cool, I didn't mention though, is this is the Apify actor that we're using here, LinkedIn Job Scrapers PPR, and this is another actor that we're using here, LinkedIn Company Employees People Scraper. So you can actually see the names right here. But here I'm actually using another scraper in order to scrape the hiring team. And for this one, I'm using real-time LinkedIn Scraper API from rapidapi.com. They don't have their pre-created modules in make.com. That's why we would be just using simple HTTP method with a basic request. And here you would need to connect to the Rapid API. And basically what happens here, I'm providing the custom headers from so there is a specific module, the get hiring team. And by the way, as I mentioned, this particular module doesn't require your cookies, so it relies on the public data. However, since we're using the job ID, job publications are always public, so there will be no problem with the cookies, and we don't actually need it here. And when we go to params, we actually see the request is get, and here's the unique URL we're looking for, and there we got a custom headers 1 and 2 here that we will fill in right here. Okay, so there's the first and the second header. Instead of URL, we're pre-selecting specific job ID. So specific job ID will actually provide us with the exactly job we're looking for. So that's how we get it. And if there is a person attached to this job ID, it will find that person and will go this route. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of how it looks. So you can make this data where we have a lot of marketing jobs and a lot of companies, and going through them and searching and reading. Instead, what you can do is you can set up this system that will do that for you. It basically will scrape all the data, create a summary, find the right people, and create a message to them. By the way, what you can actually do here even more is you can create sort of AI agent that will classify if that particular position is relevant to you or not. So you'll provide information about your company with services that you offer. Product manager will not be classified as a potential lead to you, so it will be kind of searched somewhere else. And then the ones that in marketing and advertising and the services you're doing will be classified as a potential lead, and you will go through this route again. So you don't need to do it manually, and this is like very time-consuming, demanding task. I would even say like psychologically different, because you would be reaching to hundreds of people, but you're receiving like less than like 10% response rate, I guess. It's not so rewarding, I would say. So that's why we would probably want to automate the system, and this kind of automation helps a lot. Hope you like it, hope you use it. Let me know. So to recap, we explored how AI can transform LinkedIn job posting in an endless stream of high quality leads. We even covered 2 options: getting the hiring team contacts if available, or searching for a specific person in that company. Save countless hours and focus on closing more deals, faster and smarter. The blueprint of this automation is available in the description down below. If this video gave you new ideas or valuable insights, don't forget to hit that like button to let me know. And if you want more strategies like this, subscribe to the current channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on the future content. By the way, I'd love to hear if you used any other processes for lead generation with AI. Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.